यं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकम् आनन्दमानन्दमद्वैतं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीश्वरं गणेशं परब्रह्म सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामविद्यारम्भः या श्रद्धा धारणा मेधा वाग्देवी जिह्वाग्रः औनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं भानं शान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतम् आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिह्नितम् आत्मारामं प्रवदनं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णुवे ब्रह्मेवाय यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकमध्यात्मदीपम् अतिथितीर्षतान्तमो कारिणां करुणयाः पुराणदुःखं व्याससूर्या स्मृतिपुराणानामालयं तन्मदयम् व्याप्तं जगद्येन चिदात्मभावात् रज्वा यथा ये चराचरं यस्य सर्वं संगनिरुक्तिपदमद्य ब्रह्माद्यः श्रीसंजकाशीश्वराय नमस्ते समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणां तेजोमयं नित्यं ज्ञानप्रभाकरं यस्यैकप्रणाले जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा आम्नाश्रेण सदा निरस्ततु धर्मप्रोचितकैटवोऽत्र परमत्सराणां सदा नित्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते पापरैरीश्वरः निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं भागवतं रसमालयं परमहंस जनमानस निवास. We have been studying Canto 8. We saw the story of Amritavat along with its symbolism. Today, we'll take up the following couple of stories, and probably we'll have to save the discussion of the symbolism of that for the next session. As Vamanavatar, very important and beautiful story, which I don't want to rush through. But before we get to Vamanavatar, there is one important story, personally very important to me, because after all, the story which involves Mohini Avatara, which is the Kura Devi on my wife Tripti, the births of Lord Ayyappa as the Harihara Bhutto is our Kura Devi. So both come together. And we are doing it, this Bhagavatam, in the memory of my father-in-law. This that I think will make him also. So what happened is, after the Samudra Manthanam event, one day Lord Shiva told Bhagavan, no, Bhagavan, I want to see that Mohini Rupa of us. Because in the Amrita Manthanam, no, you gave me only poison. Now let me enjoy also this. Let me see what that Mohini Rupa is that everybody makes such a big deal. So then I said, okay. And immediately all the Rudraganas and Parvati Devi and everybody vanished from there. Just Lord Shiva and that beautiful, attractive, and Lord Shiva fell totally in love with her and started running behind. That Mohini Devi kept moving away and Lord Shiva chased her, and finally they met and they came together, and the result of their union was Harihara, Lord Ayyappa. So a few things to be learned from it. Now after this, immediately Bhagavan withdrew his Maya, and Lord Shiva also remained in his own Swarupa. He didn't feel the need to, say, oh, but I got overpowered by Maya and, I have followed, or I have to do some prayashtam, I have done something wrong. Nothing. He remained in himself. Because when somebody is so firmly established in knowledge, then if the mind goes somewhere here or there briefly, they can pull it back right away at will, and B, they know that I am not the mind. So even if the mind body does something, but it doesn't really impact me, and I can immediately correct it. I can pull it back. Second, no, Kamadeva felt very bad that he had been reduced to ashes by Lord Shiva. He said, see, after all, without Kama, how will this world continue? How will species propagate themselves? So, Kama is very necessary. And Lord Shiva, I know I did something wrong by trying to disturb you, but it was a little unfair. And now, people don't take me seriously. They say that, oh, but that Kamadeva is nothing. Lord Shiva reduced it to ashes. Nobody gives me any respect. So, Lord Shiva said, if that is the case, okay, want to have victory over me? Done. You win. Hello, let us play with Mohini. And let the world think that you overcame Lord Shiva also, please. So Kamadeva also got his. See, Bhagavan is so compassionate and so kind. He is willing to, we go to him with love, with humility. He's willing to any extent to bless his. Let Ashutoshi. That's now we saw the symbolism of Samudra Manthanam, and we saw Mohini as that part of us which is able to manage the mind, which is able to bring integrity to the mind, which is able to continue to give Amritam to the Devas and strengthen them while not alienating the Asuras, while keep having them also remain part of the project to reach divinity. So even though there may be parts of us that are very materialistic, but if we know how to deal with our mind, then we can convince it, cajole it, that this spiritual path will help you to gain those things also, or in whatever way, and get that mind working as a single entity, not at cross purposes, towards that one goal. And that ability to do that is represented by Ganesh. Because through temptation, through making this Moksha Marga look more and more attractive, beautiful, this Mohini Devi takes the mind. So when we have that ability, and that ability is headed to Lord Shiva, the Guru Tattva, the Jnana Tattva, then what results is Mashasana, the Lord of Dharma. Then that action, everything happens with integrity, with honesty, and for the higher purpose. Because remember, dharma is what? Ultimate dharma is bhakti. Ultimate dharma is union with the divine. Ultimate dharma is bringing everything and everybody together under the umbrella of my identity. So, this is the symbolism of that. Now, and one more thing also. If Lord Shiva himself could get caught by Maya briefly, much more vigilant do we have to? We should not take it for granted. We should not think, oh, my mind is unminded. I know what I'm doing at all times. Any time it can take us for a ride. We have to be very watchful. Now, all these, let us proceed to the next Manvantara. And in that Manvantara, Bhagavan took the form of Vamana and he defeated Raja Bali and gave the kingdom of heaven to Indra the Deva. So this has been told in detail. Parikshit Raja also asked, you don't just rush past it later. Tell me in Vistara. The rest of this canto, except for one chapter, is all about Vamana. Because what happened is, we saw that Indra and Devatas fought after Samudra Manthanam. Indra defeated the Asuras. Indra and the Asuras. You get confusing these. Devatas and Asuras fought, and Bali was killed. But Shukracharya, the guru of the Asuras, was so powerful that he revived Mahabali. And so Mahabali had great Shraddha in his, great Bhakti in his. And no, Asura, though he may be, he was a very, very, very great. The grandson of Prahlada, the son of Virochana, they were all great bhaktas. And even you go further back, great grandson of Hiranyakashipu was also a great bhakta only. Although in the eyes of a wicked Asura and all that, that bhakta was there in him. So, Mahabali was not an ordinary, he was a jnani, a bhakta writer. And had this great devotion to it. So he became more and more powerful. And when he went now to fight with the Devatas, the Devatas felt scared. They saw this guy looks so powerful, he's going to swallow us all up. What do we do? They ran to the Brihaspati, said, see, he has very strong faith in his guru, and that guru has given him this great power with which he can defeat you. There's not much you can. And I said, but you are here as my guru. No, what are you here for? You also give me that power. So Brihaspati said, see, you're talking like this, no? Bali doesn't do that. That's why he has got also power. He knows how to behave towards the master. So now only thing you can do is very bravely run away from there and hide and somehow try to build up your strength. And then when the time comes, you can attack and try to win back the head. But now nothing is going to happen. So the Devatas ran away, they went into exile. They were living in disguise. Mahabali came, took over heaven, and he was staying there. So Diti was very happy. But Aditi, the mother of the Devatas, miserable because my children have become refugees. She went to Kashyapa. Kashyapa Prajapati was always in Samadhi. Now and then he used to get up, then if he remembered where the house was, or he would have to ask somebody for directions and come home. Then he would see. Usually one of the two wives will be unhappy. Last time Diti was unhappy, then he taught her one vrata, Om Savana vrata, that helped the asuras to develop. Now Aditi was unhappy, so he said, okay, you do Payo vrata. He gave her one more vrata. That will help. So she did that Payo vrata with great faith. And at the end of that, she had darshan of Bhagavan. Now when Bhagavan appeared, now she wanted to ask him. That's why she had done the Payo vrata. She wanted to ask him for help. But she forgot everything. She just kept. Words could not. She became like Dhruva, who had worshipped Bhagavan with desire, but on seeing Bhagavan, that desire evaporates. Bhagavan looked at her and said, yes, wanted something. So she does a namaskaram, pranam, everything, and then she tells Bhagavan, see, finally, I'm a mother at heart. I know these Devata fellows are also not the best characters and all, but still, they are my children, and I don't want to see them suffering like this. Please help them become the masters of heaven again. Bhagavan said, this is a problem. If Mahabali had been a wicked person, then I could have gone and fought with him. I would have had, it would have been justified to get rid of him. But he is such a saintly soul, and he is governing so beautifully, taking care of everybody. And I have no moral right to depose him. It would be adharma, right? But you have worshipped me, you have asked, so I can't leave it like that also. So, okay, here's what I'll do. As a result of your brother, I will be born as your child. Then I'll become younger brother of Indra. Yeah. Then as a younger brother, I am justified in taking his side. I'll become one of the Devatas team. Then I can help him in heaven. No? Good. After some time now, he entered, Bhagavan entered the womb of Aditi. And like in Krishna Avatara, all the Devatas assembled and did their stotra before Bhagavan was born. And all of nature became very beautiful and bright and came alive. It was midday. At the time of Krishna Avatara, it was midnight and it was cloudy. There was a little bit of rain, but here clear sky, but not hot. The sun was bright. There was a nice little breeze, and all the trees and everything was shining fresh. And at the time, correctly at the stroke of moon, Bhagavan Vamana manifested Chaturbhuja form, Vishnu Rupa. And seeing him, Kashyapa Prajapati, Aditi Devi all did namaskaram, and everywhere there was celebration. The rishis were delighted. And then Bhagavan said, oh, 1 minute, costume change. And he removed the 4 hands and came with 2 hands. That's a golf Vamana, cute little fellow, wearing one dhoti and Vibhuti and Chandanam and all that. And he came there. Now the baby is born, so Jata Karma has to be done, right? The rituals of Namakaranam and all the things that have to be done for the newborn thing. But he said, along with that, do my thread ceremony also. These days, sometimes parents put off the thread ceremony. Then when the child is about to get married, then along with the wedding, they do the thread ceremony the previous day and manage it like that. All that technique, Vamana Bhagavan started that time itself. So he was in a hurry. He said, better not wait for 6-7 years ago. Now itself you do that. Now we will do the Upanayana. But that Gayatri is the mantra which reveals Bhagavan to us. Who is going to give Upadesha of that mantra to Bhagavan? This is Savita Devata, Lord Sun. We say Lord Sun, but actually Savita means Atma. According to the Gayatri commentary by Adi Shankaracharya, Savita is that substratum on which all this world of names and forms plays out. That Swarupa is Savita. So that very existence itself gave the mantra to him. And who was the priest? So Brahmaji was the priest. And he gave the and command. Then the Danda is there. No? So Chandra Devata, who's the lord of forests also, Vanaspati. He gave the Danda. And Kashyapa Prajapati gave a belt that is time. And other Aditi gave underwear, Komanam, for him to wear the langot. And that all the devatas gave various things. In fact, the shloka is there. तस्योपनीयमानस्य सावित्रीं सविता ब्रवीत् बृहस्पति ब्रह्मसूत्रं मेखलां कश्यपो ददात्. See, Brihaspati, the guru of the devatas, gave the thread, not Brahmaji, I said it. Then Kashyapa Rishi gave the belt, and Dadau Krishna Ajinam Bhumihi, the one little piece of deer skin. So in those days, it was because some deer would be found dead and the skin would be taken and used. Not now, it is not a very good idea to go and kill a deer and get this. But at that time, so Bhumi Devi herself gave the deer skin, and Dandam Somo Vanaspati, is what I said. Moon gave the Danda, and Kaupina Chadana Mata, Shatram Jagatah Patehe. So mother gave the Langoti, and then Chatra, the umbrella, was given by the Devata of space. Kamandalum Veda Garbha, Brahmaji gave Kamandalum. Kusha and Saptarshayo, the Saptarshis gave Kusha grass for doing the Yajna. Akshamala Maharaja, Saraswati Vyatmanaha, Saraswati Devi herself gave Japamala. And Tasma Adityupanitaya Yaksharat Patrika Madat Bhiksham Bhagavati Sakshat Umadadambika Sati. So, who gave the Bhiksha Patra? No? He has to go to beg for. Bhagavan gave the Bhiksha Patra to him. And who gave the first Bhiksha? Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Pranavallabhe Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati. That Parvati Devi, Annapurna Devi gave the first Bhiksha. And like that, his Upanayana was done. Then he had to do the yajnas and all that. He did all the hope he had to do. Then he came to hear that Mahabali is doing a huge yajna in order to protect his power. Because to gain wealth and power and all is very easy. To hold on to it and maintain it properly, not so easy. He was doing a big yajna. So Vamana Bhagavan said, let me go there. When he approached itself, everybody felt, oh, some great person is coming from there. Also, they described so beautifully how that little Vamana was going with Dandakandalu and all that. And from behind, if you see, all you see is one circle, the umbrella, and two little feet. That's all. And he was walking. And Bhumi Devi was feeling so happy with every footstep. It was like a little massage. And when he went there, everybody stood up. They didn't know that this is Bhagwan or anything. But from his stages, they thought maybe a Sanat Kumara has come or some great Rishi has come, or we don't know. They all stood up and gave him. Who recognized who it was only Raja Bali. So Raja Bali went and Vagatena Vinandhyatha Padau Bhagavato Balihi Avanijya Jamas Avanijya Tayamasa Mukta Sangamanoramam welcomed him, did namaskaram, made him sit and washed his feet, knowing that he is Bhagavan, knowing he is Mukta Sangha Manoramam. He is that in which the minds of the Mahatmas revel, or he is the one who revels in the minds of the Mahatmas, either way. Or he is the one who revels in all minds as the conscious and remains Mukta Sangha, detached from whatever is. So many ways we can take them. But he Bali did that Pada Puja of Avanijya Archayamas. It's a very nice word, Avanijya. Normally, when we do puja, that first Sankalpa, Pada Duritakshay Dwara Shri Parameshwara Prityartham. But after that, one long list will come for good health, for prosperity, family should be, business should be well, children should study well, wife should be nice, husband should be this, whatever, my hair should, why should not become bald. All sorts of things you will ask. So what are we doing? That is business. I'll do puja to you, you give me all this. I'll give you 3 flowers, you give me wealth, prosperity, health for lifetime. But here, avanijya. Vanik bhava is the bhava of a tradesman, of a businessman. Remember, even Prahlada had said, Bhagavan, whoever worships you and then asks for some blessing in return, that person is not a bhakta, sarai vanik. That person is a businessman. And this is the grandson of Prahlada. So, avanijya. No, he didn't desire anything from Bhavana Bhagavan. He only wanted to welcome him and give him everything. He says, Adyanah pitaras tripta, Adyanah pavitam kulam, Adya shrishta praturayam, Yad bhava anagato grihan. I was doing this yajna, it is not complete, and yet now it is completed. We know that it is perfect. Suishta, it has been perfectly performed. Right? Have come. All my ancestors are satisfied, are pleased, are liberated. Adhyana Pavitam Kulam. Ours is the Asura family. So much of violence, so much of conflict, so many ugly things are there. But we are all become purified now because so clearly he has recognized Bhagavan or not, because you will not say this to any ordinary random person. Some Brahmana child comes, not say, oh, yes, you have come. Clearly, I think you have come seeking something because you have come with a Bhiksha Patram. What can I? Anything you want. Anything. You want a house, you want a mansion, penthouse with jacuzzi and terrace on top and everything. What else? Or you want an entire state, entire country to yourself, the entire continent, the entire Jambudvipa I will give you. You want to get married? I'll arrange for most beautiful women on this earth to marry you. You want wealth? I can give you it's limitless wealth. What do you want? And Bhagavan says, see, you are the grandson of Prahlada, you are the son of Virochana. That is why you're talking like this. Nobody in your family is small-hearted. All of you are so generous, so large-hearted, and so full of love. But as a Brahman, one of the things we have to learn is to be satisfied with. We should not desire something beyond our needs. Whatever we get comfortably through our effort, whatever comes naturally to us, we learn to be happy. We will be at peace. If we keep saying, I want more and more and more, then there is nothing that will be enough for us. Tomorrow you give me this entire Jambu Dvipa, I'll ask for Krauncha Dvipa also, Plaksha Dvipa also, all the Sapta Dvipas I'll ask you, give me that also, still it will not be enough. The whole universe is not enough. Gandhiji said something very beautiful. He said, there is enough on this earth for every creature's need, but not enough for even a single person's greed. So the more you give and the more I keep taking, there is no end to it. So I will take only whatever I need, and what I need is only 3 steps of land measured by my feet. When he said this, Raja Bali laughed out loud. Said, see, you spoke such wise words like some great Mahatma, but when it came to asking, you have asked you have shown your childishness. Because children have no sense of proportion. You give them 10 rupees, they will think, oh, I have become rich. Think again, ask properly, because tomorrow, you should not go to somebody else and ask for something. And then they'll say, oh, that he went and took bhiksha from Mahabali and that was not enough. And so he had to come to me. Then I will only be insulted by that. So whatever you need, you ask. Think carefully. Vamana Bhagwan again said, I repeat myself, my needs are very limited. I am a tiny fellow. I only need a little space. I will take 3 steps over. Kali Maharaja said, okay. And he was about to formalize. So in our tradition, we formalize by what? Pouring water and by pouring water and giving. That then it is formalized. The deal is like signing a contract, right? This I heard from Guruji that in older days where the currencies were all in the form of coin. So whenever dakshina was given or dana was given, those water would be poured onto those coins and then given to indicate that it is being given with love from the heart. With all rasa, it is being given. That's why after paper money came, the tradition came of giving one coin alone, 1 rupee coin, whatever you give, right? Why? Because you can't wet the paper. The coin can be wet and given. We have forgotten about wetting it and we just give it like that. But this is the origin of that trend. So in future, we can think of wetting that 1 rupee coin and giving it. So he was about to do that when his guru Shukracharya stopped him. He said, 1 minute, I want to talk to you. Yes, Guru. This is not an ordinary child. This is Bhagavan Vishnu, and he has come on the side of the Devatas. And the moment you say yes, he is going to take one giant form and grab your entire territory. So don't agree to this deal. I know you have already said yes, but you have not poured the water, you have not said Om, it is not confirmed. And sometimes for self-preservation or for other reasons, we may go back on our own. Sometimes we say something in play. That's not meant to be taken seriously. Sometimes a husband and a wife, they may say something to each other in a moment during a romantic conversation. That is, the husband will say, I want to pluck the stars and give you. But that doesn't mean he's going to become an astronaut the next day and go and try to see the stars. Right? So these things are not meant to be taken seriously. You can, since you have not formalized it, you can always go back and say no. There's nothing wrong, because it is very good to give, but you have to give within your means. So our income is supposed to be divided into 5 parts, and 1 part is for our preservation, 1 part for savings, our expenses, 1 part for savings, 1 part for helping our family members. Then I think one part I'm forgetting what for. For marketing ourselves, for publicizing us in our good work, and 1 part is for dana. Only according to that you should give. Nobody should give 100% of their wealth. This is what is going to happen. Raja Bali said, Guruji, what you have said is perfectly correct as a Samanya Dharma, as a Laukika Dharma. But if the one who has come is Lord Vishnu, if he's an ordinary Vamana, then 3 steps I can give. And if it is Lord Vishnu who has come, then we are worshipping him only through the yajna. We are worshipping Bhagavan through our yajna, and that Bhagavan has come. And in Dakshina, he is taking as much as I have in my power to give. Then is that not the ultimate blessing? And should I not agree to that? And after all, everything is his only. And how long will I hold on to it? Only as long as I have this life. That is temporary. While I am alive, I can call it mine. But at some point, I have to leave it. And instead of leaving it like that to these Asura children, let me give it to Bhagavan. After people, we warriors get Veera Swarga and great glory by dying in battle, by our heroics in battle. But how many of us get the opportunity to give everything to a Mahatma? That is rare. And see, all this wealth will leave me one day, the body will leave me one day. What will remain? What will remain is my reputation, my glory, my family's name. And I don't want to go back on my word and spoil that. So I'm going to do this. And he went forward. And credit to his wife also, came and poured that water on his hands for him to offer and say, oh man. When he did that, even the Devatas showered flowers on him because it was such a beautiful deed that he. And the moment he gave it, we saw Bhagavan started growing, growing, growing. He grew huge. With one step, he covered the entire Bhuloka. With the next step, he covered all the higher lokas up till Brahmaloka. And as his foot went there, Brahmaji went running with his kamandalu, poured water. He couldn't wash the entire foot of Bhagavan because it was too huge. But he poured on Bhagavan's toenail and washed it, and that water came out and became Gangaji. And everywhere Jambavan started running around singing Bhagavan's glories and calling everybody to come and see this Virata Rupa of Bhagavan. And this Trivikrama form he took, 2 steps completed, and the 3rd step he looked at Bali and said, where can I keep it? You promised me 3 steps, with 2 steps I have covered everything I have to give. Now you are a cheat. You promised me something and you have not given. And so he brought the Naga Pasha and tied him up. Garuda brought it and tied him. What can you give? And at that time, Prahlada also came there and did namaskaram to the old Tata Prahlada. Imagine, we know Prahlada only as a child, but your old man, white head, he comes and with his creaky bones, he does namaskaram to Bhagavan. Serpent says, Bhagavan, you have blessed us. Truly blessed us. Because I was scared when you gave him all this heaven and everything that he will get deluded. He will start thinking, I am the king of all this and I am so powerful and I am so big. That you have taken it all away. You have freedom from all this. That is a great blessing. But when Prahlada came there, Raja Bali started to cry because Tata has come. I can't even do namaskaram. My hands are tied. But he looked at one and said, Sri Baliruvacha, Yadyuttama shloka bhava nameritam, Vacho vyalikam suravarya manyate, Karo mritam tanna bhave pralambhanam, Padam tritiyam, Kurushishya. Bhagavan, you feel I have not kept my word here, I will keep my word. You say there is no place for your 3rd foot because whatever I have to give, already taken. But there is one thing you have not taken. Taken me. My ahankara you have not taken. That idea that I am the giver, that you have not taken. Take that also. Tvam nunam asuranam paroksha paramo guruhu dono nekamadanthanam ramsham chakshuradishat. You appear to be our enemy. Paroksha, you appear to be our enemy. But you are our Paramo Guru. You are the greatest Guru. You are the well-wisher. You have brought us. You have taken away all the unreal things from us. All this Aneka Madadana, all these things that we were, all this multiplicity with which we were intoxicated and blinded to this reality. You have taken away all that multiplicity, all the mother, and given us yourselves. अहमप्यात्मरिपोतवान्तिकं दैवेन नीतः रसतं त्यजत श्रीः तं कृतान्तार्तिकवर्ति जीवितं दया ध्रुवं स्तब्धमतिर्न बुध्यते. You are Atma Ripu, you are my born enemy. But it is the greatest blessing, Daivena, it is God's grace that I have been Tyajita Shri, all that I was holding on to has been taken from Daivena Nita. Anyway, it was going to be snatched from me because Kritantantika I was on the path to death. This life, after all, the highway to death. Where I would have had to leave it all. Whoever was there to come and take it and go. But Bhagavan, you have taken it. You have divinized that wealth and you have taken me and made me yours. And Prahlada again came and did namaskara and said, Bhagavan, see, hope you have blessed him. You have saved him from all this, the unreal, and brought him to the real. His wife, Bali's wife, came and said, Bhagavan, everything that you have taken, everybody says you have taken whatever was Mahabali's, but nothing was Mahabali's, everything was yours. It was yours. Let us hold it for a while. Now you are taking it back. There is nothing wrong with that. Your giving was also grace, your taking is also grace. And Brahmaji said, Bhagavan, now release him, but don't tie him. Enough is enough. But Bhagavan said, no, once I have tied somebody to me, I will never release. I may release people from Maya, but not from. He is now tied to me forever. Bhakti Sutropadata, tied to me by bonds of. I am taking away Swarga from him, but I will give him that Sutala Lok, which is a hellish world, but it is hell only for those who are sent there for punishment. But those who are administering it, it is luxurious beyond even Swarga. It is said that Devatas long to go to Sutala Loka. That Loka I give to Raja Bali. And I will be there to protect him. Rakshishye sarvatoham tvam sanugam saparikshadam sada sannihitam veera tatramat rakshate. What is there? I will protect you. I will protect whatever is given to you as your possessions. I will protect all who are close to you, who are related to you, who follow you. And I will always be by your side. I will not sit in Vaikuntha and protect you. Sannihitam, I will be close to you, closer to you than your own mind, closer to you than your own body. I will be there as you and protect you. And you will always see me. See the difference. Bhagavan is there within us, protecting us even now for every one of us. But the difference between us and Bali is Tatra mam drakshate bhava. They are not aware of this. Bali, you will always be aware of my presence. He calls him Veera. You think of Veera as somebody who fights. Here, somebody who has given up everything is considered Veera, right? Takes courage to let go like that, to let go of all that we hold dear, to let go of our very identity, and to dissolve ourselves into Bhagavan. What greater act of courage can there be? Our greatest fear is to lose everything. Our greatest fear is to lose ourselves. Face that fear, to overcome it, and just cast everything aside like that. That has to be the most brave act of it. That's why he's referred to as Veera. After this, Vamana Bhagavan calls Shukracharya and says, you complete the yajna. Shukracharya says, Bhagavan, you are the yajnapati, you have come here, you have taken everything has been offered to you, you have received it. What more is there to be done? But still, for formality, you will complete the ritual since you are saying. And so Bhagavan sat there in place of Mahabali as the Yajaman, got that yajna completed, made Indra the king of heaven, but he didn't stay there. He said, Prahaladji, come, let us go to Sutala Loka and we'll all enjoy the satsang there. And he remained there. And Ravana once came to conquer Sutala Loka, and Bhagavan was standing there at the gate and he kicked him back all the way to Lanka. That is Bhagavan's Bhakta Vatsalya. You see, people who hear this Vamanavatara story sometimes say Bhagavan is so unfair, he cheated and gave everything to the Devatas. What did he give? He gave one Swarga to them. What he gave to the Asuras is beyond our wildest dreams. He only gave things and pleasures to the Devatas. He gave self to the Asuras. Everybody got what they wanted. Akama, Sarva Kamova, Moksha Kama Udaradhihi, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. If you have desires, you go to Bhagavan to fulfill those desires as the Devatas. You have no desires like Prahlada, still worship Bhagavan out of joy. And if you have desire for moksha like Bali, then you worship Bhagavan for that also, whatever it is, but the path is love and love alone. That love has touched us. Here also. Now, next time we'll see the symbolism of this story and also the Avatar. That will conclude the 8th canto, and very soon we will reach the 10th canto and begin our Katha. Thank you very much. Blessing to be able to speak. Uttaf Pravishya Bhavacha Vibhadra Sutta Sanjeevayatya Kila Shakti Ashhasta Charana Shravana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Kayena Vacha Mansirtena Atmana Va Prakte Swabhavat Karomi Yat Yat Sakalam Parastu Ayeti Samarpayam Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Jivana Smarana, Govinda, Govinda. Then she's getting a little too. Thank you.